Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'al li waziran min ahli Haruna akhi ushdud bihi azri washriku fi amri ونسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome. So we will continue inshallah with the rays. We are on the 15th ray, page 610 in the book. Going over the journey of our traveler. It started out in that way, and the author kind of emphasized on the qualities of knowledge, will, and power, which are prevalent in our observation. Whatever we look into, we see that there are signs that show knowledge, will, and power. And then he kind of elaborated a little bit on the consciousness of whatever man does. It points to consciousness, although his knowledge is of course contingent, dependent on the knowledge of the absolute knowledge. So he says it's like the glow of a firefly, which is not stable on a dark night, just goes on and off. But the point was about the consciousness and knowledge, which is important to see. And we kind of started a little bit the discussion on the ascension, but since we have quite a few things to unpack, inshallah, so we will continue that discussion on how the author now links that knowledge. He says that's one of the major attributes. It can be seen as the chief attribute of the sacred attributes. Knowledge that we are seeing in the universe. And even our lives, how we live, is the manifestation of based on consciousness and knowledge. Hopefully we have that consciousness, inshallah. So I'll start with this paragraph and we can pause where it's necessary and needed. So now, before explaining the evidences of divine knowledge, so he's going to focus on the divine knowledge, we shall mention briefly the sacred conversation which took place during the Prophet's ascension. So from the attribute or quality of knowledge, he is starting a discussion briefly on what the ascension, the prophetic ascension, and then ultimately, I guess we can take it for our ascension as well, on how knowledge relates to that. For Muhammad's peace and blessings be upon him, ascension indicates and testifies that through its manifestations in the universe, the sacred attribute of knowledge, which is manifested in the whole universe, the sacred attribute of knowledge shows the most pure and holy one most clearly. So this is interesting. The sacred attribute of knowledge shows the most pure and holy one most clearly. So whatever we look into the universe, look at the trees, the stars, the sky, the sun, it shows that there is knowledge. Whoever made it knows whatever he made. But their existence points to the attribute of knowledge very I guess, very clearly. Yes, he says, pure and holy one most clearly. When on the night he received the divine address, so the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, received the divine address in God's presence. Since he had been sent as an envoy on behalf of all living beings, which is an important point, all living beings and every sort of creature. So not just one human beings, but every living being, all sorts of creatures. So instead of giving the greeting al-salam of conscious beings, he said salutations, blessings, benedictions, and supplications, and good words are all God's. Thus offering to his creator the creatures' gifts, showing the manner they make known their sustainer through the manifestations of the attribute of knowledge. And he gives a reference to the sixth ray, which we kind of studied a little some time ago, on this aspect of salutations, blessings, benedictions, and supplications, which was tied to our prayers that we do, the 5 daily prayers, on how each prayer can be a personal ascension for the individual, based on how one sees and realizes how much appreciates the blessings, all of the qualities that one observes while living during the different revolutions that happen during the day. So instead of saying as-salam, which is said to different beings in the universe while we live in the universe, it moves on to salutations. At-tayyatu lillahi was-salawat wat-tayyibat wa-barakat. Tayyat wal-mubarakat was-salawat wat-tayyibat lillah. And good words are all God's. Salutations, blessings, benedictions, and supplications, and good words are all God's. Thus offering to his creator the creature's gifts, showing the manner they make known their sustainer through the manifestation of the attribute of knowledge. That is, with the 4 words, salutations, blessings, benedictions, and supplications, and good words, he was alluding to the salutations, congratulations, worship, and recognition of the one all-knowing, of the unseen, of the 4 main groups of living beings, which they offer through the manifestations of pre-eternal and post-eternal knowledge. For this reason, the recitation of the sacred conversation of the ascension in its broad meaning has become an obligatory part of the tashahhud for all Muslims. So in its broad meaning, the ascension has a broad meaning and has become part of the tashahhud for all Muslims. I mean, we can try to understand a little bit what that means. Referring detailed exposition of that sacred conversation to the risale-i Nur, we shall explain one meaning of it in the form of 4 very brief indications. All right, so before we move on to the first, I think we can talk a few things here. Would you like to share?
What are they?
So the divine address in God's presence, that's one question I had as a conversation. So when I am recognizing my Lord in a way, I achieved that presence of God. Of course, we talked it in a few times, but it's not the, I mean, physical one-on-one, as you say, not that kind of presence, but it's the recognition, awareness, where I, through the manifestation, his manifestation. So the divine address comes, of course, in the prophetic case, it's a different kind of divine address. Would that be correct? That makes his ascension, but my ascension also can be a different form of God's presence and divine address. And this part also about representing the universal, or the whole universe as representative of all beings, conscious beings.
Can you elaborate a bit more on your understanding of divine address?
Divine address to me is, so when I recognize the qualities, so if I feel that in my feelings and my senses, my human side, I don't know, it's more of like I feel that everything, then all of a sudden I can realize everything in my life is being taken care of by him. I don't know how to describe it, but it's
through these actions,
through these
to you.
actions, I may see that, yes, he is kind of, the actions are his actions telling me something or communicating with me, speaking to me, addressing me.
So what makes divine?
This is not the things that are speaking to me. For example, if I'm eating food, the food is not doesn't know me, doesn't talk to me. But whoever is presenting the food to me can, in a way, is speaking through the food. Or let's say if I'm looking at a flower or a tree, through the tree, whoever made the tree, given its qualities to it, can talk to me or is talking to me if I am aware of it.
Can we read it in this way? It will be more realistic for us. Through the way they are created, through their existence.
Through their existence.
The way they are created is divine, because nothing other than the divine can be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Correct.
And so the way they are created,
with all the qualities,
to me.
Right?
Yeah, of course. Because the way they are created uncovers the qualities in them, and they say we cannot do it, but we are doing by a one who is the one who created the universe. It makes the divine, Rabbul Alamin, the world, the owner, the
Lord of the universe,
Lord of the universe, the one who's maintainer of the universe, sustainer of the universe. Yeah. Lordship refers to only a superior position over it. He speaks there, only his word passes there or has any value. That is what I understand from Lord. And also Lord plus sustaining, administering, owning, and managing together. Training or fulfilling a purpose also is in the meaning of Rab, educating, or teaching people who he is in the context of the Quran. Not the Lord used now, in selves and lords, human relationships.
Right.
No, maintaining, educating, training.
All at the same time.
Yeah, owning, sustaining, and supplying the needs of the ones who are created. It may be included in sustaining. We have to have this definition of divine. The one who does all this.
Right. Nothing in the universe can do any of that. Right.
But the whole universe needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Administered. What attracts my attention, which I was waiting for this, let's go there. You can
highlight it.
Yeah, you can highlight it. Now, or maybe not this point needs to be highlighted when on that night, in the middle of the paragraph, no, upper side of it.
Right.
When on that night he received the divine address, that is why I feel that the Prophet Muhammad, received the divine address, which means he really grasped the speed through creation, maybe in verbal form, the Quran. But of course, we will understand it includes not only the Quran, it includes the speech, address through creation, acts of creation. How I felt that it should be added to it, not only the Quran. He received divine address taken into place because the definition of the prophethood will reveal that no, only not the Quran, but the reality, the real meaning in the existence of two. That is what attracted my attention. Now, when on that night he received the divine address in God's presence, of course, he felt the presence of God there. How? Not the in physical terms, but it is in the understanding from the message that we receive through the creation. Since, that's the reason now. That is important here. Since he had been sent
as an envoy.
As an envoy, yeah, but envoy for what? The envoy needs somebody to be represented.
A mission.
Yeah, a mission. And also mission, fulfilling the mission of what? That is really, really attracted my attention so carefully. I felt that we have to study this. Since he had been sent as an envoy on behalf of all living beings, the prophet is essential, represents, he is an envoy on behalf of
all living beings.
All living beings and every sort of creature. This definition is striking. All living beings and every sort of creatures. He is the envoy. Miraj means, hey, I represent the reality, the real face, real meaning, not the material appearance, real meaning of as you manifested your qualities in the creation, I understood it, conceive it, and representing, look at this now, representing what you have revealed in the creation. I got it, and coming back with this realization to you, saying that I know you as you manifested yourself in the universe. Did you get it?
No.
No. Okay, excuse me. Now, you read a book.
Okay.
You got the meaning and the knowledge in it, and you admire the author.
Okay.
You learn that the author lives in a city.
Okay.
I don't know, name it a city, Miami.
Okay.
Now, he lives in Miami. You love it. You love it. You say, I am coming to visit you. As what? As a person. It's all right. As a person who has read and grasped the message, meaning, information in the book. I admired it. I was fascinated with it. In order to express my fascination, admiration
of the work
to you, I want to come and thank you and saying that I know you, your knowledge, your quality, as you manifested in the book, in this book. That is why I am in front of you now, as a result of my administration. You understand? Author wrote the book, and I learned it, taking this information, the knowledge of the author, coming back to him. I know you through the knowledge you displayed in this book. And I know you really well. So I want to get in touch with you because I admired it, because in me, I have seen the reflections of it. I felt so, how do you say, resonated with it in me, and through me I am coming to you now because of this resonated. Your knowledge is resonated in me. I confirmed it. I need this, and you satisfied my need. I'm coming and presenting it to you. Do you see this circle? I mean, I'm going to the author with the quality of the author, but it is through my, if you like, filter of needs. So you satisfied me. I'm very thankful to you. Salutations. And because I cannot say salam to you, peace. Why? I cannot harm you. I know that. So that I will say, no, don't be afraid of me. I'm here. So I'm not here to fight with you. I'm not here to harm you. I am here to appreciate you. Salutations.
Oh, okay.
Wow. MashaAllah. You know, we have to understand the nature of prophethood, exactly what it is. He received the verbal expression, but okay, here is my Musaf next to me.
Right.
I don't know what it includes, really. So I cannot make this kind of mirror. So I should work through his knowledge, manifested knowledge, and by using it, appreciate the author, the owner, the creator, and I am satisfied now. I am happy with it. I admire it. I benefited a lot. So I felt the need to meet you personally in the example of a book. Now, Miraj is a kind of going back with full satisfaction, representing what is as a representative of the knowledge, not as Ali, the one who knows the knowledge in it, learned it. Yeah, coming back and admitting that or confessing that all my virtues are from your knowledge.
So like human side kind of confirms
So
that.
human beings are the conductor. Receives the knowledge from God, feels satisfied, and returns back to God. That's why rujuu, turning back to God means. Yeah, but bodily resurrection, you go back, yes,
right.
It doesn't exclude it. But essence of this process from God to God, inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. This circle, the center is the source. And this transmitter is human beings. And we will only be able to address our God as much as we learn. We will only be able to appreciate the author as much as we learn his knowledge.
I see.
So we have to get really ready. If God asks me, what did you learn from it? I should be
ready
able to say really something substantial. No, it was beautiful. It was beautifully written. It is ridiculous, isn't it? Did you come for this? About these people saying, I am a humanist. I appreciated my feelings. I obeyed my feelings because I respected my feelings. If I don't attribute it to the creator, I'm nothing. But oh yeah, God created me. It's a good in a good way, really a good way. So I respect it. Okay? It's some sort of virtue. But in our capacity, we understand that we are going to represent the whole universe. And the meanings, the angelic side of the universe, it means God's knowledge manifested there, God's qualities manifested there, and I have grasped it and went back to God saying that I know you. You are the one who did this and this and this and this and this. Also, yeah, you really know me, so you can be my representative in this world. It means I can give you even more. That's paradise.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. If I don't say anything, I don't know, I didn't know you, why did you carry the book then? I used it for my material bodily benefits or supplies. Okay, your bodily supply, okay, go and ask the book matter will
supply to you.
So this reasoning circle,
right?
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, makes sense. But God created us, and we will turn back to Him. But where is Miraj? Essential. Yeah, that is the core of ascension. I understand from this part. That's why I'm looking for really studying the ascension. Maybe after this, we'll finish.
Allahu Akbar.
Inshallah.
So turning back to God can be an ascension.
Ascension, yeah. But everybody has their own ascension. Prophet's ascension is the pinnacle and the best example that we have to try to really go as high as possible to be in that position, to be in a better position always, but it is the top.
This tells me we have a lot of capacity.
Nobel Prize winner.
A lot of capacity, but we're not using our capacity.
Not the Prophet. The Quran is with me. Musaf is with me. Now, I don't need to be received the message personally. It's not my mission. Now, my mission is to appreciate the already revealed knowledge of God. Okay?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Great. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I admire you.
MashaAllah, yes. Unique perspective of ascension.
Yeah, inshallah. So we shouldn't really look at the things as simple beings. Yeah.
So salutations, blessings, benedictions, and supplications and good words.
These are the details.
Right. So any comment by anyone or any thoughts on any passage here?
Who are you?
Our friends are here. Okay, so we can continue then with the first.
Is it any significance to think about this right after it, when it says instead of giving the greeting as salam, he gave salutations, blessings? Like, when do we expect someone to give the greeting of salam instead of the supplications?
Right. So I think salams is more like peace. I'm not in war with you.
We are in peace.
We are in peace to every creation out there.
But it says instead of giving that.
Right. Because he's not one of the created beings.
So, I mean, for example, I wish you to be in peace. And the peace from Allah. You cannot say that, Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam. You cannot go there, assalamu alaikum. He's already salam, source of salam. Minka salam, from you. You are the peace.
Source of peace.
And you are the source of the peace. So I will get the peace be with you, you need more, as if. So salutations, I understand that I will present my admiration, my respect, how much I admire you, appreciate you.
Right. So the example of the book you said in going by understanding each and every aspect and as much as we can.
For example,
going to the author.
If I go to the author of the book saying that, I brought the salam, peace, from the book you wrote, and I'm presenting the pieces that I wrote it. I am the source of the information in it. Are you bringing the information to me? Example, just simple example. So respect, appreciation, admiration, salutations means. That's why what the people do, declare their allegiance. For example, soldiers stand and do salutations to the flag or general. What does it mean? I am ready to serve you.
Right.
Not that, you will receive peace from the soldier goes to the general, for example. It is called salutations, not peace. But you and I, we have to say peace be on you, you need it, I need it. You have to say peace on you too. And alaykum salam, because I need it. But the peace is from God. Okay. As if taking some water from the fountain and putting in a bucket and going back and trying to empty the bottle in to the fountain.
Yeah. It's like a cycle.
So, yeah.
I see. All right. All right. So the first is salutations to God.
Well, that's going to explain.
Attayatu lillah. Tahiyatu lillah. So briefly, its meaning, the salutations is this, for example, a master craftsman invents a wonderful machine. With his profound knowledge and miraculous intelligence. And everyone who sees the machine applauds and congratulates the craftsman. Explains, and praising and saluting him. Offers him gifts both material and immaterial. The machine too, by displaying the craftsman's wondrously subtle art and skill and knowledge, and working perfectly in exactly the way he wanted. The craftsman wanted.
Turning back. By functioning as it was
meant to function, yeah.
It means presenting how you made me. Look, how you made me. I appreciated it. Now, in this example, take the machine as a human being in the subject we discussed just
the
before.
author, yeah.
Yeah. So through the transmitter of the machine by working it, it is speaking to the engineer, craftsman. You made me this way. I am aware of it. How I am performing it now. Not because I am performing it. That's why I appreciate your work through my work. Yeah, as a creative being, as a made machine.
The comment, he says, in other words, you communicate with your creator through his messenger?
Who said this? No.
No.
The messenger's message.
Through the messenger's message.
Where is it?
Oh, it was in the chat.
Yeah.
So through the messenger's message.
Yeah, through the message, because message is from the creator, and taking the message as if taking the message of the creation, message of the revelation now, in the verbal revelation, and educating yourself, performing in your being like the machine is working in the example just we read, and presenting it to the engineer. Example.
Right. So the machine too, let me read it again. The machine too, by displaying the craftsman's wondrously subtle art and skill and knowledge and working perfectly in exactly the way he wanted, applauds him through the tongue of its being. So the way the machine is working, as we in effect, greeting him and offering him immaterial gifts. In exactly the same way, all the species of living beings in the universe, together with...
This is important, very quick. In effect, greeting him
and offering him salutations, right?
And offering him immaterial gifts by presenting or functioning in the way that it is made.
Right. The machine. So if it's a human being working as the human being is...
Human beings are conscious, machine is not. Example.
Right. Inshallah. In exactly the same way, all the species of living beings in the universe, together with all their individual members, are in every respect miraculous, wonderful machines, which, like conscious beings, men and jinn and angels applaud and salute their maker verbally. So salutations are done by conscious beings verbally through the tongues of their beings.
These are important. Through the tongue of their being.
And lives applaud and salute their craftsmen.
Beings and lives. So, example, animals. Before, for the machine, it didn't say life.
Mhm.
Now it is coming, maybe
To conscious and
it is going into the men's human beings position now, step by step.
Right. So salute their craftsman, the all-glorious maker, who makes himself known through the profound and subtle manifestations of his all-comprehending knowledge.
Again, the same thing.
Which sees the relationship of everything with everything else and knows all the things necessary for the life of each and conveys them to it at the right time. Greeting him, the beings declare, salutations to God. They worshipfully offer the price of their lives directly to their Creator, who knows all creatures together with all their states. On the night of the Ascension, in the name of all living creatures, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, salutations to God, instead of the greeting of peace, in the presence of the necessarily existent one, and offered the salutations, gifts, and greetings of all those species of living beings. Right. So he exemplified this by doing salutations to God
as conscious,
as a conscious individual.
Representing the conscious being.
Yes, just as with its order and balance, an ordinary regular machine undoubtedly shows a painstaking, skillful craftsman. So each of the numberless living machines which fill the universe, so each and every being in the universe is like a machine, displays 1,001 miracles of knowledge. Whatever the comparison between the light of the sun and the feeble glow of the firefly, that is the comparison of the former and the brilliance with which, through the manifestations of knowledge, the living beings testify to the necessary existence of their eternal maker and craftsman and his fitness to be worshipped.
He is the only one that we can worship. Fitness
to be worshipped.
Fitness. Nowadays, fitness is used to fitness centers, the gyms.
Right.
So it is confusing. Maybe.
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only one who must be worshipped. Yeah. It's fitting to be worshipped. Fitting in that way.
Only the one who can be worshipped. Worthy of worship, they translate usually.
All right. So the second sacred word from the Ascension is blessings. Al-Mubarakat. Since according to Hadith, the ritual prayers are the believer's ascension. So there's some reference to Bukhari and some other sources of this Hadith. The ritual prayers are the believer's ascension and receive the manifestation of the supreme ascension. So many opportunities for the conscious human beings in their prayers. to return back to their Lord. And since the traveler found in every world his creator, the one knowing of the unseen, through his attribute of knowledge, accompanying the traveler, we shall enter the broad world of blessed things and blessings. So the blessed things are called blessings, in quotes, which make those who behold them declare, how great are God's blessings. Everything in creation can be seen as blessings. And we may benefit from some of them. You can say, how great are God's blessings. Like the traveler, we shall behold that world of blessed beings, and foremost the innocent, blessed infants of beings with spirits, and the seeds of animate creatures, which are the tiny containers of the programs of their lives, and through studying them shall attempt to know our Creator with the knowledge of certainty, through the miraculous, subtle manifestations of His sacred attributes of knowledge. Yes, with our own eyes, we see that through the knowledge of an all-wise and knowledgeable one, all those innocent, young, and blessed minute treasuries and boxes,
What are they? Minute treasures.
like the seeds and eggs, all
boxes.
boxes that are
Including in it knowledge of God.
infants, he said.
Yeah,
child.
infant is going to grow
Go up into it, yeah.
Every seed,
Mm-hmm.
seed of animate creatures,
Mm-hmm.
the animals or plants, they are just
Tiny
container,
containers.
tiny container of the knowledge of God, as if demonstrating that the one who made me knows what will happen next year, the following years. He's aware of it.
Right.
Encoded me accordingly.
Right. So in the DNA itself, there's the whole knowledge of God.
Yeah, that is Mubarakat, one of the Mubarakat. Blessings. Why blessing? A small seed becomes a huge tree. And a small seed becomes a human being. Now, that is why it doesn't become by itself, impossible, right. But we understand that it is a measure of blessings of the Creator because it will increase barakah. Barakah is the very common word in Muslim world. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows what barakah is. We all need it. Mm-hmm. But we have to see the barakah in creation first. Right. And appreciate it. So the Lord God, please reflect your barakah on me as well. So I will be feeling comfortable to ask him because I am convinced, as the Lord said here, knowledge of certainty.
Knowledge of certainty. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Knowledge.
Sacred attribute, knowledge of certainty.
I'm sure you do it because I'm seeing it. So please give barakah to my work, which is like a seed.
Oh, inshallah.
And create a tree out of it. You can. I know. Sure.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
So knowledge, all those innocent, young, and blessed, minute treasuries and boxes, both all together and singly, suddenly awaken and stir into motion and proceed towards the aim of their creation. Mm-hmm. They cause those who see them as they are in reality to exclaim, May God bless these 1,000 times over. What endless wonders God has willed.
MashaAllah.
So he gives examples. For example, all seeds, eggs, sperm, and grains have a precise order which springs from knowledge. And the order is within a perfect balance, which arises from skill. And the balance is within a constant reordering. And the reordering is within a constant measuring and balancing. So balance is there, constant changing, reordering, and even the reordering is within a measured and balance, whatever the change is happening. And the measuring and balancing are within a distinguishing and nurturing, each possessing marks intentionally distinguishing it from its fellows. And this adorning is within the giving of wise, appropriate, perfect forms and members. And this giving of form is together with differences in the flesh and edible parts of those creatures and fruits for the purpose of generously gratifying the tastes of those desiring sustenance. So it's consciously, deliberately arranged in a way to satisfy the taste of those desiring sustenance. And this is within miraculous embroideries and adornments.
Oh, these are plus.
Miraculous embroideries and adornments packaged in a nice way.
If we don't appreciate it, they are worth nothing. You know. But we understand embroideries and adornments perfectly, really points to the conscious choice, practicing it.
Mm.
So I don't think anybody can explain the source of this embroideries and adornment beauty in creation in material sense. Impossible.
Impossible.
Impossible. By
The art in there.
By adapting themselves to the environment in order to survive, I am fitting the best form of creation. And why do I need embroideries? Yeah, color takes the color of the environment. It is stupid. There are lots of contradictions in it, but why adornment or embroideries, beauty, design? Why? Why this design? The two sides of parallel must be parallel. Material reason.
Mm.
Why this balanced in adornment? Not accidental. For example, the soldiers, American soldiers, other soldiers, but American soldiers, we can see here, the soldier clothes. They have a kind of color that usually goes along with the earth.
Right.
Brownish, greenish, so that if they were white, it would stick up. They were black, it would stick up, attract the attention immediately. But this one needs a careful look.
Right.
They're adapting themselves. Where is adornment in it? Where is beauty in it? Just adjusting themselves. Is there any symmetry? Is there any beauty in there? Decoration in there?
No, just.
And so that we will love it. Like the flower, like the bird,
Yeah, no,
animals.
Nothing like that. Yeah.
Purposefully done. Even the soldiers' clothes are purposefully done, that much.
So embroideries and adornments
Yep.
reflect knowledge and are all different. And this is together with pleasing smells and delicious tastes, which are all different. Thus, through the
Wow,
unfolding
smell as well. Nurturing, balancing,
taste,
measuring.
mhm, so many,
Yeah.
all together at the same time.
These are all inexplicable in material terms. The distinctive characteristics. For example, do you see the design in the within the skin of the orange?
Mhm.
How is it adapting itself to the environment? Stupid.
Right.
This evolution theory accidentally happening is stupid. Inside it, man, no one sees it so that they will come and eat it.
Mm.
Smell. If you go to the forest, you see all sorts of different smelling plants there. They are contradicting. Why? If they produce their own smell in order to protect themselves,
Right.
to fit, so that they will survive
Mhm.
themselves, of course.
Mhm.
Nature is planning this
Right.
and wants to survive. Why? Wants to survive. Why? How did they buy it? How did they believe in it? And many people are misguided because of this idea. So simplistic.
Right.
So they emit their smell accordingly, but in the same environment, different flowers emit different smell. Why? You know, if they were doing the same thing as in this environment, it's the best way of protecting themselves. Although again, conscious choice is needed, but still, but every flower smells different. Growing in the same environment.
Mhm. Allahu Akbar.
So this is the only alternative that the materialism produced at last, evolution.
Wow.
This is everywhere is appalling, shaky, against human reasoning. How do they really propagate it? How they don't be ashamed of it, telling this lie, made up story. And people are
Yeah.
following,
It's normalized in the civilization.
legalized.
Because they say products are evolving. Like this one last year was different. This year the laptop is different. So the evolution of the
Now it is simple mind, but it is a designer and the human needs are increasing.
They use it in that language now.
Yeah.
Just to make it so
But
people
not
buy it.
mentioning the engineer.
Right.
Is that the parts of the laptops or computers, machines are developing themselves and accidentally developing themselves. Look at this crazy. I don't know. It means either people, the technology develops, but human minds declines.
Yeah,
I don't know. How
I
can
think,
they be?
I think that's right.
Yeah. They're so simple, so simple.
It's getting worse.
Way of thinking. Very simplistic and doesn't make any sense at all. Cheating people with all speculative language. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. That we are not prevalent.
Alhamdulillah. Thank God for the message of the Quran.
Okay.
Thus, through the unfolding and development of all these forms, with perfect orderliness and distinction,
more
order, distinction, and while being different, without fault or error, in absolute profusion, and with absolute speed, and over an infinite area, all over the place.
Over and everywhere, yeah.
And with
Not
this,
in one action,
right,
at the same time.
and this with wondrous situation, continuing throughout the seasons. All those blessed beings.
Before going there, let's do that.
Mhm.
Now, the balance, reordering.
Reordering, right?
Yeah.
And reordering also
Reordering
is also within balance.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Ordering is also within balance.
Constant measuring and
Distinct,
balancing.
mhm.
And measuring,
Nurturing, distinguishing, nurturing. Within a distinguishing and nurturing.
Yeah, measuring and balancing are within this distinguishing and nurturing. And on embroideries,
They're artful decorating and adorning. The nurturing, distinction, nurturing are within artful decorating and adorning.
yeah, artful decorating and adorning. Yeah. Look, I missed that. I'm marking on my book. Giving wise, appropriate, perfect forms.
Right, giving a form.
Together with
Flesh and edible parts.
Yeah, everywhere.
Different, yeah, differences.
With each other.
Within miraculous embroideries and adornments. So all this is within embroideries and adornments.
Taste, gratifying the tastes of those desiring sustainable. Appetite.
Fulfilling the
motivator or the riser. So you feel delicious, juicy.
Get attracted to it, yes.
Yeah. Why people go and have one dinner, pay hundreds of dollars in one restaurant because appetite. Yeah, it is so precious.
Right.
Okay. These are the signs of knowledge.
Reflect knowledge, adornments, embroideries, and yes, smell, embroideries,
and delicious taste.
Smell, delicious taste.
Which are all different. All of them are. Every being, every animate being has its own characteristics. Of these listed here, I don't know how many characteristics are at the same time occurring, happening.
Orderliness and distinction, being different without fault or error in absolute profusion.
Yeah.
Profusion.
Without fault, absolute profusion. And
absolute speed over an infinite area.
Yeah.
Continuing.
At the same time.
Continuous, yes,
Yeah.
continuing. All those blessed beings.
Continue. Oh, how many?
These are 15 tongues. 15. The author.
Sorry?
The author counted it, I guess. He says above 15 tongues.
Oh, it is here?
Yes. Demonstrate visibly through the above 15 tongues.
Yeah.
The marvels of their craftsmen's skills.
I felt they need to count. The author has done it.
He's done the job.
Yeah.
MashaAllah. Marvel of the craftsman's skills and his miraculous knowledge. Making known as clearly as the sun, the one all-knowing of the unseen, their necessarily existent maker. It was because of this truly brilliant and extensive testimony of theirs and congratulations of their maker that on the night of the ascension, when speaking on behalf of all creatures,
Again, speaking on
behalf of all creatures, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, used the word blessings instead of the greeting of peace. Yeah, I mean, how can we deny all?
Presenting the blessings in creation. Mubarakah.
Yes,
Barakah.
mashallah. So all these tongues,
Very
marvels.
careful observation of the creation. I think in order to appreciate Islam or the Quran, first we have to observe the universe creation carefully
Yeah,
from every aspect of it.
and through that observation is how we can declare
Yeah,
our ascension, inshallah.
that will be our ascension.
Inshallah. All right, so I think we are at time, so we'll continue with the third next time.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Any comments by anyone before we close for today? It's a different way of studying ascension, I see. Very practical. Observing the universe, declaring glorification, and then mubarakat, seeing all these beings which grow into, all done in a different way, balanced, nurtured,
Today's Sunday.
sustenance, taste, beat, smell, whatever, all the different ways. Yep. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma alamtana innaka anta al-alim al-hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bihumati surat al-Fatiha. Thank you, everyone.